And we welcome you on in as the state playoffs continue to roll on here at the D Event Center in beautiful Ogden, Utah. One of the best basketball settings you'll find, not just in the state but across the country, especially when it comes to mid-major. A lot of history in this building. The house Dame Dalla built. Tanner Wilkinson, Rick Robinson with you for the call here on Centricom Channel 10 and ETV. It's the number 4 seeded Juan Diego Soaring Eagle and the Morgan Trojans match up here tonight. Our starting 5 for the Morgan Trojans. Rick, they're going to go with the only one senior on this roster, and that's Nixon Ordina. Really good player. You and I saw him play early this year at the preview down in Richfield. Really good player, can score, and a good passer as well.
Yes, and Morgan, as usual, has a good team put together. Last year, Ordina played. He was really good, and they really should have beaten Richfield.
Yeah.
And didn't get past Richfield. This year they're back in the tournament. And I think Greg Sterner pointed out since 2018, only one team has been here on the last day of the tournament. That's Manti.
Every year. Yeah. Isn't that something?
That is, and Manti, some years, you think they're not as good, and I think Manti's got a shot at this thing.
Peaking at the right time. That's what's most important. Starting lineups continuing. Alex Fisher, a junior. Aiden Harris, a junior. Number 5 and number 1, respectively. Number 35, Eli Bailey, a junior. And number 40, Josh Criddle, a junior. Only one senior, Nixon Ordina, starting for the Juan Diego Catholic Soaring Eagle. They come and hail out of Draper, Utah. They're going to go with Zoo Marquez, a junior. Freshman Noah Bettinger, along with junior Colby Bryant. Not to be mistaken, of course, with the late, great Kobe Bryant, wearing number 23. Malik Harris wears number 24. And the big man, sophomore Malik Diallo, 18 points and 12 rebounds a game. A battle of the bigs. Morgan's got good size, but Diallo is kind of in a class of his own, Rick.
Yes, and Diallo I saw play last year in the Sevier Valley Center in the 4A playoffs. Yeah. He was terrific as a freshman, and Juan Diego got upset there.
That's right.
But I did watch that game last year and was way impressed with him.
Soaring Eagle win the tip. They're in the home white uniforms as the number 4 seed. Morgan in their maroon jerseys with the 5. A good play to start, and the Trojans come up with the turnover. It's Eli Bailey knocking it away, and possession goes to Morgan.
Tough angle to get that pass in there, and because of the angle, they didn't get it in.
And it is Morgan Trojan basketball. Ball movement out high for Morgan. This is a team that, again, only one senior in Nixon Ordina, but he is phenomenal. But they turned the ball over there. Out in transition, it's Zoo Marquez. Marquez with the basketball, falls down, and they're going to call a foul here on the Trojans. Morgan not agreeing with it. Good amount of folks here cheering on the Trojans. We just had a really big crowd for Layton Christian. Not as big of a following here for the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle.
Well, they had to either call a foul or a travel, and they thought there was damage. He was tripped.
Ball comes down inside. Malik Harris to the basket. Left hand can't finish it. Rebound to Eli Bailey. Now out comes Alex Fisher. Fisher, a really good tailback on the football field for this Trojan team that was the 3A runner-up in football. Fisher for 3. It's strong. And offensive board, up and under, no good. And that's Josh Criddle. He averages 9 rebounds a game. The big man in the middle for Morgan.
Boy, we've had some good looks. They couldn't get it to go here early.
Marquez throws up a wild shot. Was trying to draw the foul. They don't call it. Diallo, the offensive rebound. Goes back up, pump fakes, now flips it inside. A tough pass, Colby Bryant for 2, and he scores it. This junior Colby Bryant, 46% from the field. This Juan Diego Soaring Eagle team, 49% from the field as a team. They shoot it really well inside the arc.
Yes, it's because of their length.
There's a reason for it, no doubt. Ordina over on the left side. Kicks it back out up high. They go middle to Bailey. Bailey takes an 18-foot J. It's strong, long rebound, comes down, tracked down by Fisher. Alex Fisher with the basketball. Ball fakes with it. Cross-court pass over to Aiden Harris, the junior. Now in the corner, Ordina goes baseline. Great shovel pass inside. Bailey with the flip and score and ties us up at 2 apiece. That's Eli Bailey. And Nixon Ordina will do that for you as he averages 4 assists per contest.
And Bailey made it look like he just kind of flipped it up and in, and the next thing you look, it went right in. He's made that move before.
A little floater shot, and Criddle deflects it, but not until it ends up back in the hands of Bettinger. Now they go low to Diallo. Diallo the spin. Goes baseline. Good help defense by the Trojans. Leads to an open three-point shot. Air ball. Rebound Diallo. And just, can't coach height, Rick Robinson, as he lays it back up and in 4-2.
Yeah. And he was in the right spot. He knew what to do with it. Just spun and laid it up and in.
Trojan basketball, our final boys game today. The girls will be on the floor next. Ball movement here from the Trojans. Ordina for three. It's a good look. It comes up strong. Rebound comes out to Bettinger. Bettinger, just a freshman, averages 9 points per game and makes 49% of his threes. Diallo, who shoots just at 24% from three, goes baseline, forced to pass it out to Harris. Harris catches free throw line extended, gives it back to Zu Marquez. Now they'll go to Diallo, about 18 feet away. They go into Colby Bryant. Gives it back. Harris takes the 15-foot J straight away. No, Josh Criddle, boy, that looks like a guy that knows how to box out and get 9 rebounds a game.
Boy, and they did a nice job because Juan Diego was going hard to the basket.
Trojan basketball. Alex Fisher to Aiden Harris, now to Ordina. Good ball movement. 3 from Fisher on the way short. Might want to take a step inside that college line to shoot that. Now Marquez comes out with it. Marquez floats for 2. Good transition opportunity for Juan Diego. They now lead at 6-2 with 4:23 to go in this opening quarter.
And the defense stopped right underneath the rim, too far out, let him get too close to the basket, able to float that in.
And Ordina, they're going to call an offensive foul here on the Trojans. That's going to be Eli Bailey picking up the personal.
And what's interesting to me, this Juan Diego team did not have their full team through much of the season.
That's right.
The latter part, they got to it. They were really not a contender until they got their full team back together.
Only lost 1 region game, if I remember correctly, looking at the statistics, as Diallo sets the screen for Marquez. Marquez loses his dribble at the free throw line and now retreats. They feed it into Diallo, guarded by Criddle. What Criddle lacks in height, he's going to make up for in strength. One of the strongest guys on the team, a great offensive lineman. And Diallo just spins and jams for the Soaring Eagle. It's now 8-2 Juan Diego.
Yeah, when that pass got there, you're just waiting for Diallo. I know you were thinking he's going to slam it, and he didn't disappoint.
Had a nice dunk in the game, a little alley-oop in the game before this one. Winner of this game will get the number 1 seed Leighton Christian. Criddle, turnaround jump shot is no good. Bailey rather with the missed shot. Criddle, the offensive board. And trapped in the corner, throwing it away as the Trojans just nowhere to go with that pass. Morgan leads 8-2. Marquez gets it across the timeline. Diallo sets the high screen. Marquez, little lob into Diallo for 2. Fouled, count the bucket. Just too easy inside for Malik Diallo, and that'll make it 10-2. Chance to make it a 9-point game at the free throw line.
You gotta love Diallo's positioning, though. He positioned right where he needed to be. The pass was delivered high, and Diallo, he has been off to a great start in this game. He has really performed. And sometimes your bigs don't do that. He has come ready to play today.
Criddle will sub out. And into the game is Luke Olson, just a sophomore. He and Criddle, they look like brothers. They only same hairstyle. Only difference is the jersey, same size, really. Only difference is 40 and 41. As Diallo connects on the free throw, he shoots it at 64%. Got a sub here for the Soaring Eagle. Brighton Valdez checks in, another freshman for the Soaring Eagle team. We've also got Gavin Turner, the junior. Gavin, kind of a backup quarterback in football, also plays some slot receiver for this Trojan football team. And now on the basketball court, Turner swings it back over. Ordina thought about the 3, goes baseline, and should have made that pass a little bit earlier, in my opinion, Rick. Couldn't hit Eli Bailey where he wanted to. Turnover to Juan Diego.
Yeah, and Morgan, to start this game, has looked a little nervous. They have not looked crisp yet, and Juan Diego, that's why they're up by 9. They have just played well.
Marquez drives baseline and finishes. Boy, timeout to the Morgan Trojans. 13-2 our score with 2:46 to go. We'll be back here on the Centricom Channel 10 and ETV.
It's time to supercharge your internet with a true broadband internet plan from Emory Telecom. Get ready for high gear downloads that power buffer-free streaming, gaming, sharing, and surfing. And fire up all your devices at once with reliable speeds amplified by the latest Wi-Fi equipment. Get on the fast track to a powerful online experience. Call or click EmoryTelecom.com to supercharge your internet today.
And we welcome you back on in. It's the Morgan Trojans and the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle. Soaring Eagle off to a great start, Rick, 13-2. You talked about Malik Diallo positioning. Yeah, that's been the story really early. He has a big body, but he knows how to use it and knows where to be on the floor.
Well, you cannot give him that position on the court. You've got to be there and prevent him from being in there. Easier said than done, obviously.
Right.
And keep in mind, this is the number 5 ranked out of 21 teams. Morgan Trojans. I mean, we're not playing against a 15 or 16 seed.
It's 5-4, too. It's not like, it's 5 versus 1. This is the 5-4 matchup, so Ordina gets it across the timeline. He's a guy that's got to get going for them. Throws up a tough shot. It was stripped. He gets it tipped back to him on the offensive board, though. Kicks it back out to Fisher. Fisher takes an 18-foot shot. It's short, rebound to Diallo.
And again, Morgan did not look comfortable in that possession. Did get a fairly good shot.
Marquez drives, floats inside. Diallo, they're going to say on the floor. No, they say an offensive foul here. So going the Trojan way, that's the first foul called on Juan Diego, so it's now 3-1. The foul count still in favor of Morgan, or to the disadvantage of the Trojans, however you want to look at it.
Well, and they were set, Juan Diego was, to score there again.
Trojan basketball, getting it over to Gavin Turner as he will reset the offense here. Swings it back over Fisher, thought about the three, pulls it cross court to Ordina. Good closeout on the outside. Ordina kicks it out far to Jackson. Boy, Juan Diego's making them catch it just from so far away as the three-point shot is up and good. A big basket. Gavin Turner, the junior.
And Turner was behind the college line but was open, caught it in rhythm. That's maybe as good as passing as Morgan's had in this game.
They were patient to start. Juan Diego sped him up a little bit. Fresh senior Nick Kimball has also checked in for the Soaring Eagle. Three-point shot on the way from Marquez, no. And, boy, Diallo somehow still came down with that basketball. And then a tip on the steal. Gavin Turner's got it out in transition. Turner, and just being sent away. Boy, Diallo, no one wanted to go after him. No. So that was what opposing defenses do against the Utah Jazz. You see Rudy Gobert in there, you're not going to go in and challenge the big fella. Three-point shot from Olsen is in and out. Fisher had it for a moment and ends up in the hands of Valdez.
And it looked like Morgan had a sure easy lay-in there. Give credit there on the hustle back to not give the lay-in.
Final minute of this opening quarter. Juan Diego leads 13-5. We've had slow starts for some of these teams today. I don't know if it's a depth perception thing, because that is an adjustment you got to make playing at a big gym like here at the D Event Center. They lob it to Diallo with 40 seconds left. He draws a quick double near triple team. Gives it to Marquez. Touch pass inside. And Colby Bryant sends it out, and it's taken away. Gavin Turner again with the good hands. Quick for a guard. Gets it across the timeline. Beautiful feed inside to Olsen. Olsen turns. Takes an 8-foot jump shot. No good. And Fisher, not afraid, taps it back out. Ordina now will reset for Morgan. I like the energy Alex Fisher's brought so far tonight. Not afraid of the big fella inside. Bailey kicks back out. Turner, another triple. Straight away. Same shot. Different result. And Diallo had it and falls. And oh, no. Oh, my goodness.
It looked like maybe he came down on an ankle. You hope not. I think he's going to be okay. They're immediately pulling him up.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's, oh, my goodness, that's not good to see. And he's going to try and run it off. I'd guess ankle as well.
I thought I saw an ankle roll. That's just came down on it awkward. Now that would be yeah.
That's significant. Yeah,
that is significant.
Triggering is Fisher, gets it into Bailey. Now swings to Ordina. Turner, great out of bounds play, leads to a wide open Fisher three, and it's good. Alex Fisher from three, lead down to 5, and that's significant because it ends the quarter. Juan Diego 13, Morgan 8. We'll be back with second quarter action next on Centricom Channel 10 and ETV.
Centricom believes the service relationship continues long after installation, and we're available to support you every step of the way. That's why if there is a problem with our equipment, a service visit from us means no cost to you. We know the value of a satisfied customer, so if you refer us to a friend, we'll take care of them and you'll get 1 month of service free. We promise to make your experience the best it can be. Centricom, keeping you connected.
Welcome back on in. It's Juan Diego and Morgan. A significant injury here. Malik Diallo having his ankles looked like worked on. Those sprained ankles are no joke, Rick Robinson. Now, I don't agree with this statement from Charles Barkley, and I don't always agree with everything Charles says, but he once said that sprained ankles are more painful than childbirth. I don't believe that.
No.
There's no way, and I think it's just him getting a rise out of people, but they're nothing to joke about as we see Diallo head to the locker room. They're not a good sight if you're a Juan Diego fan.
Well, when I played was I a junior? I think a junior. I sprained mine 3 weeks before the state tournament, and I was barely back in where I could play.
It's tough. Well, you look at Donovan Mitchell's sprained ankle from a year ago. That kept him out for some significant time. It's not something to joke around about, and he's now back on the bench.
But they take my ankle every single game the rest of my career after that. Not that I was a factor. I mean, anyway, I'll just tell you.
The great career of Rick Robinson.
Yeah.
Radio Rick Robinson.
In high school.
It'll be Trojan basketball, and they scored the last 6 points of the quarter with a couple of big threes, so we'll see if this lets them get back into the game here. Ordina, ball movement, traveled with it.
Yeah, I thought he did, and they got it.
Had Olsen open in the corner, and Olsen can hit that outside shot for a big fella. And now back in comes Diallo. He is going to be good to go.
Both you and I thought it was traveling, but I didn't think they'd seen it. And then all of a sudden, I saw a dead ball.
13-8 our score. Juan Diego leads at 7:52 to go in the second period. Going to be an interesting to see just how much Diallo's mobility is, as you like to see the sportsmanship. Aiden Harris checking on him before the inbound for Morgan. Soaring Eagle basketball. Ball goes over on the side to Marquez. Now they go to Diallo on the baseline. Cross court, Harris, Marquez puts it on the floor, gets into the paint, stops, shoots, scores. Great move from Zoo Marquez.
Yeah, he had a defender right in front of him. He planted in front of him and banked it in nicely. That was a tough and a pretty shot.
13 points, 4 assists for the junior point guard. Ordina thinks about the three, and it's kicked, so it'll stay Trojan basketball with 7:18 to go. It's a big basket inside for Marquez. Just a great. That's a college level move. That little hop step that you can get the shot up that quickly. You like the move from Zoo Marquez. Screen for Ordina, gets it to Fisher, or rather it's Aiden Harris trapped. Ordina gets a good look at a three. It's strong. Rebound comes down to Marquez. Good size for a point guard. Gets it out in transition. Harris stopped. Good defense. Kicks it back out. A deep three. That's an NBA range three. Boy.
Yeah.
Noah Bettinger from three. And again, he shoots it at a 49% clip from three. That's a phenomenal number. Kyle Korver rarely shot it that well in his NBA career, so that's a high number to shoot for. Juan Diego back up 8. Olsen takes the 14-foot J. It's strong. Rebound tipped and controlled by the Soaring Eagle as Marquez now brings it across the timeline.
Just when it felt like Morgan maybe had momentum, Juan Diego's come back with a couple baskets.
Marquez with the basketball, gets into the paint again and turns it over. Taken away by Josh Criddle. They're playing Criddle and Olsen together. No one covered Criddle, but the pass was behind him. Touch pass, Olsen for 2 short, and the rebound to Diallo. Man, every time Morgan seems like they got an opportunity.
Diallo is in the center of the lane. I do think he affected that shot.
Soaring Eagle basketball, 6:05 to go here in the second quarter. Catching it high is Colby Bryant. Swings it back over to Zoo Marquez. Gets it over on the right side. No hesitation. Boy, Noah Bettinger, there's a reason he shoots 49% from three. My goodness. Connects on another one, and Juan Diego back up 13, largest lead of the game. Ordina, ball fakes. We've got Gavin Turner back in the ball game as well. Goes middle to Olsen. Olsen swings back to Turner. Now Ordina with it. Man, Marquez moves so quick in this zone. Tough to really get him moving against it. Turner will reset with 5:24 to go. Ordina puts it on the floor, dumps it inside to Criddle. Criddle will send back out to Olsen. Olsen ball fakes. He'll take the three and make the three. Big shot from Luke Olsen, the sophomore.
Yeah, he wanted to pass it, but they backed off him. He says, okay, I'm going to shoot it, and he drilled it.
Marquez steps into a three. That's short, and you're okay with that. Marquez only shoots 25% from the three-point line. Ordina in transition gives to Fisher. Fisher looks to take it baseline, cut off by the bigger Harris. Now gets it back up top to Olsen, and Turner will reset for the Trojans. 4:50 to go here in the first half. Ordina with the basketball. Back to Turner. Screen is high. Ordina, catch, shoot, three, swish. And the Trojans are staying in this game, Rick, with 3-point shots. I think that's their 4-3. 4 of their 5 made field goals have been 3-point shots.
Yeah, and back-to-back 3-point possessions for them that they've made.
Keeping them in the game. Trojans only down 7, 4:25 to go. Marquez catches high, gives it back over to Colby Bryant. The junior shoots 80% from the free throw line. They get it inside and a steal. Josh Criddle taking up space. Now Ordina with the basketball on the left side and a reach. And, yeah, Marquez easily going to get called for that one. This has been a good, cleanly played game so far by both teams. That's just the 5th foul called combined here in the first half.
Well, way different than the last game with Layton Christian and Summit. That game was, there were a lot of fouls.
Yes. So Bailey will return along with Alex Fisher. Good minutes from Luke Olson off the bench. Fisher catches left side, puts it on the floor. Gets cut off, good defense, flips it inside to Bailey. Bailey's so good, kind of in that zone-breaking middle spot of this offense. Ordina with it now. Bounces to Bailey. Kick back to Fisher. Fisher tries for 3 on target, off the mark, rebound Diallo.
Yeah, and it looked, we were right behind him. It looked like it was going to go in. It rimmed in and out. And Diallo made sure no one else got the ball.
Ball over on the right side. It's Colby Bryant with it. Bryant picks up his dribble, lobs it into Diallo. He's guarded by the much smaller Bailey. Gives to Bryant. He traveled with it. Trojans made him fumble the basketball, caused him to travel. Possession back to Morgan.
And just when it appeared Morgan's in trouble, down 13, they're back within 7, and they have the possession of the ball. They had it last time that way, but Morgan still hanging in here.
21-14, Ordina gives. 3-point shot on the way from Harris. It's strong. Rebound, and I was going to say a little bit of an over the back there. I think they're going to call this on Fisher, and they do. Alex Fisher picks up the personal. Fisher, an important part of this offense, 12 points per game for Morgan. As we're going to get a sub checking in, number 24, Joe Waite, the junior. Again, only one senior for the Trojans, and that's Nixon Ordina. And he is the guy that makes them go offensively. Accounts for 15 points and 4 assists. Trojans trail 21-14 to the Soaring Eagle. Ball fake from Zu Marquez. He lobs it inside to Harris, catches baseline. Ordina deflects it, and it'll stay with Juan Diego. Tough spot to inbound in that corner.
Yeah, and Ordina just got in the passing lane and knocked it out of bounds. Right in front of the Morgan bench.
Triggers deep into Bettinger. Bettinger's already hit a couple of threes for Juan Diego. Resetting is Zu Marquez. Colby Bryant gives it high to Harris. Harris in the corner. Bettinger low to Diallo. They've done a nice job on Diallo here in the second half. Hasn't been much of a factor since he returned with that sprained ankle. Rebound to Fisher.
And every now and then you see him just a little limp.
3-point shot on the way. Good looking shot. Joe Waite making an appearance off the bench. Rick Robinson, we've got a 4-point game here with 2:32 to go in the second.
Yeah, just a few minutes ago, it was a 13-point lead for Juan Diego.
It was 21-8, a 9-0 run. All 3-point shots as Diallo catches it baseline. Great trapping. They send it back out high to Bettinger. Resetting is Zu Marquez. Back over. Ball in the corner. Diallo catches. Posting, kicks it back out. Marquez for 3. In and out. Rebound again. Comes down to the Trojans. It's Joe Waite. They've done a great job making the right guys take the wrong shots for Juan Diego. Ordina with the basketball. Pulls it back out. Gives it back over to Waite. Waite resets to Ordina high. Over to Fisher. Fisher looks to drive it. Gives baseline Bailey. Takes the 18-foot baseline shot. It's in and out. Criddle the offensive board. Criddle sends it back to Ordina. Wide open triple. Good. Nixon Ordina for 3. 1-point game, Rick.
And that's exactly who they wanted it to. Ordina was open, and he delivered.
Let's keep it here, Rick. We got a minute 34 to go before the half. It was 21-8. 3-point shooting. Another thing Charles Barkley says, you live by the 3, you die by the 3. Well, Morgan is thriving on the 3-point shot right now.
Yeah, without the 3-point shot, you just give them 4 baskets. That's 8 points. Instead, they've got 12 points. That's an extra 4 points because of the 3-point shooting.
Well, they've only made one 2-point shot and no free throws. The rest of their baskets have been three. They made 6 threes and 1 2.
Well, it'll be interesting to get Brad James's halftime stats. I'm so glad when I see you because
that means Brad's with me.
Yes.
So, and Brad, we should point out, you'll see him on the broadcast. If you see the fedora on the media row back there, he's in his own spot. I asked him, I'm like, do you want, you want to email us the stats? He's like, no, it'll get me my steps in. So he's more than happy to bring us the stats clear over here. As always happy to have Brad along.
This game changed when Diallo sprained his ankle. It has not been the same. He's not been as involved. Whether it's him, the ankle, whatever, it is the difference in this game so far.
Yeah, just the whole aura and atmosphere in this building changed. I think a little bit more belief from the Trojans. So it'll be interesting.
Diallo's not as active. I mean, he was jumping through the ceiling. We had a slam dunk by him. We had a lob slam dunk.
Yeah.
We haven't had that since.
Soaring Eagle basketball. It's Bettinger going on the left side to Harris. They're trying to get it into Diallo, and Criddle's just not letting him move. Criddle, again, maybe it lacks about 6 inches on him in height. Makes up in probably about 40 pounds. And a foul, I think they're going to call this. Oh, they call it on the Soaring Eagle. I figured that was about a 50-50 call. Possession will stay with Morgan. That'll be the 4th team foul. So I don't think we're going to get to shooting here in this first half.
Watching this replay here. And it's because he reached out on the feet.
And not trying to trip. I think he was going for the ball, but it's still a foul.
Yeah.
Still a foul.
It really intent. A lot of people think it's intent. It has nothing to do with intent.
Right. Waite gets it in the corner to Bailey. Now back to Nixon Ordina. Has got a mismatch on him with the much bigger Malik Harris. Waite thought about the 3, takes it baseline. Now back to Ordina. 55 seconds left. Ordina dribbles out of a double team in the corner and will reset to Alex Fisher. Fisher, crossover, gets into the paint in the corner. Bailey thought about the 3, had Diallo on him, thinks again about it. Now back to Ordina. No shot clock. That's coming next year. This will be an arena that is easy to run that, and they're used to running that. Waite thought about the 3 and took too many steps before he put the ball on the floor. Possession back to Juan Diego.
I love this arena. Of course, it's the Purple Palace. There's only one thing I don't like as a broadcaster. Can you guess what that is?
Ooh. The red seats.
We do not get to see the fouls.
Oh, yes. How many each player individually has.
That's the only thing I don't like.
Juan Diego basketball. Bryant will look to take it baseline. Throws a wild pass. Marquez goes up to get it, and they call the foul on Fisher. So that'll be the 5th team foul on the Trojans. 26.5 to go. I doubt we get to a shooting situation here in the final 26 seconds. Oh, and that's big. That's 3 on Fisher. Oh, my goodness. That is a significant foul for Morgan. Great.
He has 3 of the 5 fouls.
He might not start the second half. Resetting up top. If you're Juan Diego, you want to get out of here with really one shot, and they force another deep 3 from Marquez. He's 0 for 3 from 3, and now the Trojans get the final shot with 8 seconds.
They could get the lead.
Ordina puts it on the floor, gets into the paint, floats, banks, no, and that will do it for our first half. Juan Diego led 21-8. Our score is 21-20, a 12-0 run from the Trojans on 4 made 3-pointers. That'll take us to the half. We'll be back with halftime recap here on Centricom Channel 10 and ETV.
Today's event for free online at KSLSports.com. The Utah High School Activity Association is proud to use Wilson basketballs. For athletes to perform their best, they require the best. For over 100 years, that's what Wilson has delivered. Wilson is not only the best-selling high school basketball in the market, but it's also the official ball of the NBA and NCAA March Madness. Learn more.
Digital cable isn't.
.com.
Diamond dancing on your neck,
we have the Juan Diego Soaring Eagle cheerleaders. The Juan Diego Soaring Eagle cheerleaders. And now, please welcome the Morgan Dance Team.
Can he drive it?
You know what's Prez? I said, you can fix everything by action. I believe. I believe in the face. Everything. Believe. We can lose the battle, but we gon' win the war. I'm from the bottom, I'm that uncut real raw. When things get tough, that's when we show up. That's when we show up. That's when we show y'all. The Morgan Dance Team. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? If you own a late model red Chevy truck, license plate number Y92.
And welcome back. Our first half score, Juan Diego 21, Morgan 20. Tanner Wilkinson and Rick Robinson with you here, giving you this coverage at the 3A state tournament. I love this gym, Rick. Just a phenomenal setup. You know, I kind of like being up higher as a broadcaster. I like having a better view from above. That's my opinion.
Well, you and I will, sometimes you have to agree to disagree. I like closer.
Yeah.
I do like it way better than the University of Utah.
Okay.
University of Utah, you're up like this, but I felt you're even a little higher.
Even higher.
Yeah.
See, I think this is a good angle. I don't like being nosebleeds for chance, but I feel like this is a good spot for us. So
you're not in the nosebleed at the U, but it's
a little higher.
It's a little higher. And this facility is way nice. It has a big-time feel to it, but a small-time atmosphere.
Yes. Absolutely. And that's kind of the theme of mid-major basketball, right? When you look at the Weber State and SUU, whoever, there's a lot of teams in the Big Sky that could go to the big dance this year. That's really our state's best hope at being represented. Them or UVU coming out of the WAC, unless our Cougs pull them.
BYU has a chance?
They might schedule Kansas State next week. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
In a I'd like that. That win would help them if they could get a win. But
well, they have a lot of K-Pong top 50 wins, more than several teams. But,
yes.
But the committee has never been kind to BYU.
Well, and you lose to Pacific. I mean, that really doesn't do good for you. So.
Okay.
I'm dressed in Cougar blue. I have a BYU hat, BYU polo, and I'm even rocking my Cosmo socks today.
Well, both you and I
we're both Cougars.
Yeah, I graduated from
Greg's
BYU.
a Cougar, even though he graduated as an Aggie. He's a BYU fan. We got plenty of Cougs on the
But I
broadcast
love
today.
Weber. I love
Yes.
Utah State. I can't tell you I love Utah, but I'm happy for them.
My dad's a Utah grad, and he doesn't love Utah, so there you go.
But they've had a terrific year going to the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
Anyone's got to be happy for them.
Absolutely. Let's go over some stats from this first half. Here's the one that stood out to me, Rick. 2-point shots for Morgan, 1 for 11. 3-point shots, 6 for 14.
Ooh.
That's why they're in the game, making threes. You shoot 28% from the field, 42% from the three-point line. Only one free throw taken between both teams, and it was on that Diallo and one play in the first half. And we talked about his ankle injury. Things changed after that point.
Game has not been the same. He did not limp a lot, but he didn't have the same energy, and I'm wondering if he'll have it when they come out here in the second half.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how this continues on with how Morgan shot it there to end the first half. Let's go over individual numbers. Nixon Ordina, 6 points, 2 assists. 3 points from Alex Fisher, 2 from Eli Bailey, the only 2-point. And it was the first made shot for Morgan. It was a little nice floater in the paint. 3 points for Gavin Turner, 3 from Joe Waite, and 3 from Luke Olson, all on 3-point shots. Ordina hit 2 of them. Leading rebounder, Josh Criddle, playing like a center. 5 rebounds, using his size well in there. For the Soaring Eagle, 21 points. Zoo Marquez with 6. He's 0 of 4 from 3. He was really good when he got into the paint, kind of started to settle there in the second quarter. If he can continue to get to the paint, I think that's a good thing for Juan Diego. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that for you. Noah Bettinger hit 2 big threes. He had 6 points, 2 points from Colby Bryant, not to be mistaken with Kobe, and then Malik Diallo, 7.7 rebounds, 3 of 3 from the floor. But as we mentioned, when he turned his ankle, Rick, it changed this game. Rebounds are even.
Still walking a little ginger as he comes out.
Those ankles are no joke. It's not a fun thing dealing with a sprained ankle. And it's got to be one of the most frustrating things as a player because you think, a sprained ankle doesn't sound as bad as an ACL or it doesn't sound as bad as an Achilles but they can really bother you for a long time. We're going to have to keep an eye on his performance here in the second half. So.
Well, what a treat it is for me to be here with Tanner Wilkinson. Terrific voice, and that goes unsaid. And broadcasting degree you're in, and how good is Centricom and Mid-Utah Radio to have you there. I just think it's nice. And I look over at Barrett Hilton, who I hadn't been with for a long time, and our producer, what a great guy. I'm in really good company.
We are this weekend. It's a fun crew. From cameramen, we've got Dylan Smith. Adam Coombs is in the camera producing room. Cole Wissinger joining us for the first time. We'll have McKay Baker with us tomorrow on the broadcast with the camera work as well. Another one of my BYU buddies. You'll get along with McKay. He's a funny kid. You'll get along with him. He's from up this way. This is actually his favorite stadium in the state. I mean, a BYU guy, but loved coming to Weber games as a kid, especially when Damian Lillard was here. So we've got a great crew with us up here this entire weekend. Barrett's put together the dream team, per se, the Michael Scott Paper Company team. So.
I got a funny story on Damian Lillard. When he was a senior, Weber played BYU, and honestly, Damian had a bad game against BYU.
I remember that,
and
yes.
BYU just really pounded Weber. And I thought, he's not that good. You know what? I was wrong. Terrific player.
I wanted the Jazz to somehow end up with him in that draft simply because he was a local guy, and there was a chance they might get Golden State's pick, but Mark Jackson's tanked purposefully to keep that pick. I'll never forgive Mark Jackson for tanking that year, and they ended up with Harrison Barnes in that draft. Good player, helped them win some championships there at Golden State. But how many times did Dave Rose lose to Weber State? There's a question for you.
I don't know if he did.
Once in his last year. That was kind of a tough year.
And Richfield, I mean, BYU really didn't deserve to beat Weber. Damian was a terrific player.
That was a good BYU team. Made the tournament that year, their first year in the West Coast Conference. Diallo, good pass, but it goes through the legs of Harris, and he somehow ends up with it and throws it out. They call it travel. I'm not sure if he traveled there. What are your thoughts, Rick?
I thought he did,
okay.
And the reason I did is because he rolled. Had he got
and I
slid,
didn't see that part of it. So
let's watch the replay here.
Yeah, you see that. You're 100% right.
You can't roll or it's a travel. You can slide, but no roll. Morgan
is not led in this game. They've got it down to 1. Ordina for 3. It's short. Criddle, had it in his bread basket, loses it out of bounds, and it will be Juan Diego basketball.
It's almost like there's a block on the rim because Ordina had a good look at it, and the rebound was there, and it went out of bounds. Sometimes to get the lead, it just seems like it's difficult.
Yeah. And that's going to be key for Juan Diego. And now in the ALA game I did earlier, ALA trailed the whole time until the third quarter. They took a 1-point lead, ended up losing by 25. Put back again, no good. 2 good looks inside for Malik Harris. He averages 6 points a game. They've kept him relatively quiet tonight. He has not scored.
I guarantee Morgan gets a lot more looks at it. They're probably going to take the lead.
Criddle back outside. Fisher in there with those 3 fouls. Takes a college range 3. It's well short. Criddle saves it, but it goes to Diallo. And now Diallo crosses over in the front court. Moving okay on that leg. Puts it on the floor with Bailey. Bailey, great defense to cut him off. Now they go back to Diallo on the block. 6:44 to go in this third. Thought about it. 3 is Marquez. He skips it over, picked off. Nixon Ordina read that like a book and now gets it across the timeline. Trojans looking to take that first lead. They have not led tonight. And it was, again, 21-8. When's the last time Juan Diego scored, Rick? I mean, this Morgan defense has been suffocating dating back to the second quarter.
Yeah, and it's still since that injury to Diallo.
Inside, Bailey, 15-foot arc, gets it back outside to Harris. Now looking to drive at baselines Fisher. Trapped in the corner, bounces that back out high to Aiden Harris, the junior. They go middle to Bailey. Now Ordina. Looks to drive from the corner, takes a little 14-foot shot. Not the best shot. Criddle fighting for it, and the rebound comes down to Diallo.
Well, Morgan has had 2 airball 3-point shots and a tough shot there that wouldn't go. Any of them would have given him the lead.
Neither team scored, and we're 2+ in here to the third quarter. Neither team has scored. Diallo catches at the free throw line, kicks it over in the corner. Good-looking 3 from Bettinger. It's short, and they call the foul on the 3-point shot. Criddle not happy about it. So 3 free throws from Noah Bettinger. He shoots it 81% at the line.
And Bettinger's over there smiling, saying, yes, I'm getting 3 on this. This is going to end our cold spell, I predict.
At 81%, you get 3 shots. I would guess so, too, and it does there. So
he made that look pretty easy. How about in the first game today, Ben Lowman and Grantsville. Grantsville had to make 5 foul shots in the final 30 seconds, and Ben Lowman missed 1 on a front end and a 1-on-1 in the final 30 seconds. That was the difference in the game. They lost by 1 point, Ben Lowman did.
Knocks down the first 2. The lead's back up to 3 for Juan Diego. Bettinger connects again. 24-20 our score with 5:24 to go in this one. In the third quarter, should say. Ordina with the basketball, gets it to Fisher. Fisher with the basketball. Gives it to Ordina. Ball fake. Gets it to up high. Catch and shoot Bailey. 14-foot J. Short. Ball tipped. Controlled by Fisher. Juan Diego wanted an over the back. They don't get the call. Harris, deep 3. Short. And Morgan just doesn't seem to have the legs they had in that second quarter, Rick.
Boy, they can't get the ball to go in the hoop. They've had some good looks, but everything's short.
Marquez with the basketball. High to Malik Harris. Now gets it to Bettinger. Deep NBA range 3. It's off. Good box out from Criddle. Diallo fighting for it. Goes over the top. Backs down. Shoots and scores. Boy.
Oh, that was just great determination.
My goodness. When you have athleticism and height and you add, like you said, Rick, determination, tough to stop. Fisher gives to Ordina. Thought about the 3-point shot in the corner. Now goes to Criddle. Touch pass turnover. Marquez has it. Now 5 unanswered points. Lob, Diallo, and oh my goodness, it goes off the backboard. Diallo almost tapped it in off the pass, and now Morgan with an opportunity. And Bryant has it. Should have been called a travel. What a play from Criddle. Ordina to the basket. Count it and one. A big momentum shifter for the Morgan Trojans. How about Josh Criddle sliding to grab the basketball and flicking it at the last second out to Ordina, who finishes with the deuce, and he'll go to get one for free at the line.
Well, Diallo is the one that deflected it, went down, almost had the slam dunk. He's the first one down the court, and came back, and he was the defender down here. He's running his heart out.
Ordina goes to the line, 15 points per game from Nixon. He had 6 in the first half to lead the Trojans. That's the first free throw attempt of the night for Morgan, so they and Juan Diego both shooting perfect. A combined 5 for 5. Lead back down to 3. Diallo catches at the free throw line. Turns. Puts it on the floor. Spin. Oh, beautiful move. Shifts it inside. Harris bobbles the basketball. Kicks it back out. Fisher tips it. Ball tipped out. Marquez tipped it right to Diallo. Right place, right time. Diallo takes the 3. Oh, my goodness. When you're 6'8" and can make that shot, not much else you can do. How about Malik Diallo?
And that was the college three-point shot.
Yes.
Oh, Diallo, he is just, when he's playing, I'll tell you what, it's fun to watch.
Gavin Turner back in the game. Ordina thought about the 3, puts it on the floor right to the rim. Beautiful job protecting the basketball. Can't get the call, and it comes out in transition. Marquez behind the back dribble. Double team, gives it in the corner. Harris drives it and traveled with it.
Yeah.
Josh Criddle's not moving. You're not moving the big guy inside.
Well, he stopped so he didn't run into Criddle. And as he stopped, he moved his feet. And I thought, that looked like traveling. And they did call it.
Morgan basketball. Fisher over on the left side gets it in to Bailey. Crossover. Turner. Little push shot in the lane. It's no good. Criddle fights for that. And we're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow stays with Morgan. Cannot say enough about Josh Criddle here tonight. Again, probably 6'3", 6'2", and Diallo's 6'8", 6'9". So love the hustle and the heart of Josh Criddle.
Diallo came down, and it looked like he was going to get it, and we had the jump ball. It wasn't a long-held ball.
Looking to trigger. They get it back outside to Olsen. Swings at Ordina. Thought about the 3. Puts it up. Little 14-foot shot. It's short altered, and Diallo comes away with the basketball. Leads the break. Those are some long strides from the big fella. Fouled before the shot, and that's a good foul by Morgan because Diallo had a full head of steam. Juan Diego basketball side out of bounds.
Boy, that was a terrific dribble drive the length of the court. And Diallo was trying to float that up in, but he knew he'd been fouled. He heard the whistle.
3:01 to go in this third quarter, 29-23. 5 minutes in, Morgan's been held to just 3 points, but they've kept Juan Diego to just 8. Ball comes into Marquez, bounces to Diallo. Diallo turns. Little Kareem sky hook. It's off. Rebound comes down to Bailey. And you'd much rather have him shooting that than just dunking down your throat.
Yeah, and they didn't let him get position that time. It's a makeable shot, but much harder.
Turner with the basketball, swings it to Ordina. They're trying to get this zone defense to move. Ordina bounces inside. Bailey pump fakes, gives baseline, and a turnover. It's taken away by Nick Kimball, the senior. And now Zu Marquez has it for Juan Diego with a 6-point lead, 2:28 to go here in the third. Marquez gets it high. Diallo catches out about 20 feet away from the basket, much smaller than with Turner on him. They give it back out. A 3-point look is up, no good. Rebound comes down to Ordina. A good look outside from Nick Kimball. Ordina with the basketball. Tough quarter offensively, but Trojans still in this, only down by 6. Turner with it now over on the far left side. Will pull out and reset for Morgan. This 2-3 defense is really stiffened up for Juan Diego. They go middle to Bailey, back to Turner, playing a little hot potato in the corner. Ordina, 3 on the way, good. Nixon Ordina with a big 3-point shot, and again, the lead is trimmed down to 3.
Ordina caught that in rhythm. You just had to feel it was going to go in.
Yeah.
Defender coming at him, but he let that go quickly.
Marquez with the ball fake. They lob it into Diallo. He spins, turns, tough shot. You're going to live with that all day if you're the Trojan defense.
Notice, though, how they have not let him get as close to the basket on his positioning.
Ordina nearly loses the basketball. Turner will reset. Get high to Bailey, 3 from Waite. Hit a big one earlier, in and out. Rebound to Diallo. No one was getting that but Malik, and it will be Juan Diego basketball.
Diallo with a very hard rebound. I'll tell you, he's worked hard in the middle.
That's a man's rebound, no doubt about it. Ball goes into the corner. Jab step here from Kimball. Now back up top to Bryant. Gives it over to Zu Vasquez. Vasquez jab step, puts it, goes baseline, and the defense breaks down. Diallo nearly came up with the dunk, and we're going to get a foul on the Trojans here. They're going to call this on Luke Olson. Oh, no, they call it on Eli Bailey. That'll be 2 on Bailey. And they're going to say it's on the shot.
Was trying to catch it and just throw it down. I'll tell you what, this is just fun basketball. For high school basketball, this is a terrific game. Of course, you expect that in a 4-5 matchup.
And Diallo will shoot free throws. Again, not a lot of free throws attempts. Neither team's missed. Now I jinxed him, Rick. It's the announcer jinx.
Well, I happen to not believe in the jinxes.
I don't either. I just had to throw it out there.
You just tell what's going to happen.
I tell you what, Greg Rebel in his profile now on Twitter says jinxes aren't a real thing. That's what it says in his profile description. So one more for Diallo. He shoots it at a 64% clip. He's now 1 for 2 in the game. We'll get one more. And it's good. 30-26 our score. 49 seconds remain here in this third period. Not a lot of pressing from either of these two teams in this game.
Diallo's had a regular 2-point shot. He's had dunks. He's made a 3-point shot. Now he's made a foul shot.
Done a little bit of everything. Olsen pump fakes. Kicks it back out. Wait, thought about the 3. Now Turner with it. Gavin Turner tries to get that zone moving. Wait fakes the 3. Now Turner swings it back over. These are important minutes with Ordina out. Back out Turner. 29 seconds left. Goes baseline. Fisher, 2-point shot short. Just don't have the legs they had in that first half, that second quarter specifically. Juan Diego now very slow moving up the court, likely going to hold for a final shot here.
And Diallo again with the rebound. I tell you what, he's just been a force with the boards.
Juan Diego led 13-8 after 1. It was 12-8 Morgan in the second quarter, 21-20 at the half. 3-point shot from Marquez. Short ball's tipped, and that'll do it for quarter number 3. We've got fourth quarter action next on Centricom Channel 10 and ETV.
Hi, I'm Dustin Shakespeare, the Central Region Pathways Coordinator. Do you know what pathways are offered at your high school that connect with Snow College? Students enrolled in career technical education courses can develop valuable real-world technical skills and a strong academic foundation. Over 630 students completed CTE pathways last year in the Central Utah region. Our 35 pathways empower students to explore career options, pursue what they are passionate about, and earn valuable industry certifications. To learn more about these career pathways, talk to your CTE teachers and school counselors today.
In this one, Rick, been a fun one, though. This has been a good game. He kind of looked like Juan Diego might start to run away with this, and the Trojans answered, and really with good three-point shooting is what's kept them in this game. Now, unfortunately, they only scored 6 points in that third quarter.
And they shot a very low percentage.
Yes, and Nixon Ordina scored all 6 of those. He's going to have to be big here in the fourth quarter if they expect to win. And he's back on the floor.
I think it's also got to be somebody else step up and put the ball in the hoop for him.
Yes, that's a good point, too.
And for Juan Diego, I thought Malik Diallo really came back nicely from his ankle injury and really put together a nice quarter. But his teammates, they didn't shoot as well either.
That's a good point, yeah. Had good looks. 4-point lead, Juan Diego. 7:56 to go in this fourth quarter. Ball gets moved over to Marquez. Puts it on the floor where he's been good. Dishes. Diallo jams it. Boy, the drive and the dish. Zu Marquez to Malik Diallo, and it's now back to a 6-point game for Juan Diego.
How do you stop that?
You don't.
That's pretty difficult because he gets that far in the lane, he's going to dish it.
Ordina now gets in the paint. Kicks it back out to Olsen. Ball movement to Turner. Now Fisher catches, jab step, will kick it, no look inside Olsen. Back out Turner, big 3-point shot on the way, it's strong. Criddle the offensive rebound. Gives it back to Olsen. Takes the 15-foot J. He's fouled on the jump shot, and now Olsen will go to the line for 2. Not a smart foul there by Zu Marquez.
No, and Olsen right at the foul line was going to shoot it. You could see the defender come behind. I thought he might block it, but said he fouled him.
Luke Olsen, the sophomore, big fella. Again, he and Criddle, not a lot of difference between the two of them. Misses the free throw on the first of 2. It's a 6-point lead for Juan Diego, 32-26, 7:19 to go here in the fourth. Our final boys game, all the girls action coming up next. We'll, I believe it's Grantsville and Leighton Christian next, Rick. I'm excited to see Mackenzie Allen for Grantsville. Free throw up, no. Big misses there from Olsen. Rebound to Diallo.
Well, they're bigger when you're behind by 6
That's right.
points and you're in the fourth quarter.
Bettinger with it. Bryant, no-look touch pass into Diallo. Skips it across courts. Now they go low to Harris. Harris has had a quiet night. They give back to Bettinger. Can't give him an inch of space or he will take it and knock down a 3. Bryant with the basketball up high. Ball fake. Gets it over. Ball deflected and saved somehow. Bryant has it now. Marquez with the ball fake. Cross court in the corner. Bettinger. Very patient right now with a 6-point lead for Juan Diego. They lob it to Harris. Kick it back over Bettinger. So quick on the release, it's in and out. Rebound Harris throws it back out to Bettinger and a reset for Juan Diego.
You know, one thing that's different than these two teams, they have subs some, but not near as much as any of our earlier games. Deep subs, often. Not the case in this game.
Bettinger with the basketball, gives it back over to Marquez. He gets into the paint, floater. That's where he's been good. He misses it, though. Ball is loose and another offensive board to Harris. Marquez with it, no-look Harris, 14-foot J, good. And Malik Harris, who gives you 6 a game, I believe that's his first basket. Now an 8-point lead for Juan Diego.
3 shots at the basket, though. The odds are with you. You get that many shots.
And a good timeout here from the Morgan Trojans with 5:56 to go. We're going to keep it here. Well, Rick, if you're Morgan, you've only scored 6 points in the second half, 0 here in the first 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Got to find something, some kind of a rhythm offensively.
They just have not been able to make shots from outside, and their middle is tough because you got Diallo in the middle. So if you're going to beat this Juan Diego team, you're going to have to make some at least mid-range shots.
Yes.
And, you know, Morgan lived off the three-point shooting in the first half.
Yeah, that is something. You live by the 3, you die by the 3, and so far it has not benefited the Trojans here tonight.
I knew I was with someone as good as Charles Barkley.
Isn't
that what you said,
it
Charles
is.
Barkley
Charles said it. Now, I got a good Charles quote I'll share with you after the game. Charles has had some good one-liners over the years, no doubt about it. Speaking of the NBA, what do you think about the Jazz here for the second half of this upcoming season?
Well, they've been a surprise team to me. Surprising they've been as bad as they have at times, and then all of a sudden they play well, and then, you know, there's rumors that Donovan Mitchell's not happy, and so I don't know what I think.
I think a lot of the rumors are fabricated. I think Donovan just wants to win. I think there's a little truth, and yeah, who doesn't, you know? And I think there's always, you know, going to be a little bit of tension between him and Rudy, but they both have the common goal. They get along well when they play together.
Oh, terrific players, and I think they both feed off each other.
They do. Their games complement each other very well. So, Morgan basketball. Ordina gets it in the corner. Bailey back to Ordina for 5:55 or 45 to go rather. Bailey catches Ordina. Big three-point shot. Off, rebound Criddle. Goes up, inside. Ordina not afraid of the big fella. Another offensive board. Bailey has it. Shovel pass to Fisher, and they'll reset. This is their third look. Lob inside Criddle. Bounce Bailey. Floater. Fouled. Count the bucket. That barely touched the net, Rick Robinson.
Yeah, went right through the floater. But the same thing we said with Juan Diego. 3 looks, the odds are in your favor. 3 looks, the odds were in favor that Morgan's going to make one of them.
Now, Rick, we were just talking about the Jazz. One of the smaller guys on the Jazz is Mike Conley. You know Mike Conley's signature move when dealing with length, right? That little right-handed floater. We just saw that's how you beat length, is with the floater. We saw Manti do that against the length of ALA. Free throw's no good there from Bailey. Rebound comes down to Malik Harris. And now Marquez comes out in transition. It's still a 6-point game, 34-28, 5:14 to go. First basket of the fourth quarter here for the Trojans. Over. It's Bryant. Kicks it into Diallo. Diallo looks to take a baseline and just does nothing Criddle could do there but pick up the foul, and Diallo will go to the line to shoot two. 64% on the line this year for Malik Diallo.
Just a terrific baseline move. You look at him driving the baseline, just backs up, puts the shot up. And had he not been fouled, he might have even dunked it.
Yeah. So Diallo to the line. That's not the worst foul in the world if you're Criddle, as he misses the first. 34-28, 5:02 to go in this one. Another low-scoring one, Rick. That first game you and our friend Greg Sterner had was rather low-scoring.
I believe 39-38. Let's see, I got it right
I think
here.
it was 35-34 was the final in that one.
It was 35-34.
Combined 69 points. Manti scored 61, I believe, in their game. So,
yeah, the Manti score was 61-36.
Diallo goes 1 for 2, splits again, 7-point lead. Well, if the Trojans are going to get a run, it's got to start now. Hopefully that basket from Bailey lifted what's been a tough rim here. Bailey pump fakes, gets Diallo in the air, back out to Ordina. Ordina penetrates, kicks it back out to Turner. Ball deflected. Taken away, Marquez now has it. And Turner poked it away to at least slow down the fast break, and now Marquez looks to go to the basket. Does and still can't finish. Oh, a big miss. Rebound to Bailey. My goodness, Marquez, that's his best look he's had all night.
Yeah, he fooled the defender, got an open look.
Bailey, 14-foot J is good, and the lead's down to 5 with 4:27 to go. Now a little pressure from Morgan. We have not seen either team press here in this quarterfinal matchup here today.
It looked like a 1-2-2 zone trap, but they didn't really push it.
Diallo gives it inside to Bryant. Tough shot, great defense, rebound, Criddle. Ordina leads the break for Morgan. Looks to crossover, going to take it right to the rim. No. Criddle, put back, no. Bailey has it, tips it back out, and it's poked inside and taken away by Malik Harris. Oh, opportunity for the Trojans.
I thought Bailey's was going to go in for sure when Ordina missed it, but just couldn't get it to go.
3-point shot, short by Bettinger. Rebound to Nixon Ordina. It's a 5-point game, 3:41 to go. The Trojan defense has kept them in it when their shooting's gone cold. Fisher, Criddle, Bailey gets it back out. Turner for 3. They say no baskets. Timeout Morgan. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and they made the 3-point shot. That would have been huge.
Well, it's part of the game, Rick Robinson. It's part of the game. It's like in football when you call a timeout to ice the kicker and he misses it, and then he makes the next one anyway.
I know. That's happened a few times.
What'd you think of the Super Bowl, by the way?
Well, I'll tell you my opinion. There weren't two really great teams.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
was a good game, but I felt like these are pretty good teams, but not great teams.
I agree. I think we're seeing a lot more parity in the NFL. I mean, the fact that a team like the Bengals could get to the Super Bowl is pretty phenomenal.
The two best teams, in my opinion, were Buffalo and Kansas City. That game was a Super Bowl material.
Shout out to my buddy Brant Stevens and Tommy Johnson, two Bills fans. I know two Bills fans that were born and raised here in Utah. So it'll be Trojan basketball here coming out of the timeout. Juan Diego catching a break there after Turner made the 3. And you see the coach grabbing his head saying, oh, wish I could take that timeout back. But want to make sure you got the right plays in here. Ball goes to Ordina. Thought about the 3. Steps into a tough 2, and it's short. Ball fought for. Rebound comes down to Fisher, and he pulls it back out. Offensive rebounds have been key for the Trojans as well.
They can make some shots here.
Ordina thought about the 3. Gets in the paint. Drives. Blocked by Diallo. Just too much length for Malik Diallo. We've talked about it all night. He's moved a little bit better in the fourth quarter here, Rick. I think that ankle's loosened back up a bit.
Yeah, I agree with you. And Ordina was trying to fake him and didn't really get the fake.
Turner thought about the 3. They get it in the corner they call an offensive foul on Criddle, and to the dismay of both Morgan's head coach and Criddle, so it'll be Juan Diego basketball. Keep in mind, that's just 5 team fouls on Morgan, 3 team fouls on the Soaring Eagle. And we are going to have a big what-if wonder about that made 3 from Gavin Turner that doesn't count due to the timeout. We're going to wonder about that for a while.
And that was a big shot now.
Diallo catches as they break the light press.
It looks like it's going to be this tough 1-2-2 3-quarter court trap.
And they let an easy basket like that happen, but they miss Bryant the rebound, sticks it back up and in. They missed an easy look. Lead back to 7 now for one of you. Now, you got to protect your backside if you're going to put pressure like that.
And he had 3 shots at it. He missed it twice. The third one he didn't.
Harris puts it on the floor. Kicks it back out to Turner. Swings it, Fisher. Big 3 on the way. Good, Alex Fisher. Every time you think the Trojans might be out of time, they hit a big shot.
Fisher has really, he made that one right before the timeout. Fisher's heated up a little bit.
Well, he averages 12 a game. He had some foul trouble in that first half. Still finding his rhythm and knocks it down there. Fisher out on Marquez. 37-33, 2:15 to go. Buckle up here at the D Event Center on the campus of Weber State. Marquez, drive, float, score. That's when he's been his best. That search dribble for Marquez has been phenomenal.
He faked like he was going to pass it along the baseline. Morgan thought he was going to pass it, and he just floated it in. Oh, what a sweet move.
Fisher back to Turner. Ball fake in the middle. It's caught by Harris. Swing back to Jackson. Or Fisher, rather. Another 3. Alex Fisher with back-to-back threes. It's a 3-point game. Trading 3s and 2s here at Weber State.
Under 2 minutes, and that's when, Morgan had a chance. They had to make shots.
Diallo takes the 10-foot jumper in the lane. It's strong. Rebound to Fisher. Alex Fisher with the basketball. A 3-point lead for Juan Diego. Fisher, the heat check. Almost banked it in. Rebound Harris offensively. Turner will reset here. Plenty of time. Ordina thought about the 3. Takes it baseline. Will pull it back out. They give it to Fisher. NBA 3. In and out. Rebound Diallo. And fighting for it, I think we're going to have a jump ball. Possession stays with Morgan. My goodness, we are getting a great finish here.
And that shot was an NBA 3, and just as you said, it swirled around and just flipped out.
Someone's feeling it tonight, and it's Alex Fisher here in the fourth quarter. We talked about someone else had to step up for Morgan, and it's been Fisher. Criddle with the basketball. Gets it back to Nixon Ordina. 1:05 to go. Trojans down by 3. Ordina back to Turner. Harris, Turner. Ball fake, Ordina. Ball fake. Turner penetrates. Kicks it back to Ordina. 50 seconds to go. Criddle catches it baseline. Back outside to Turner. A lot of time coming off here. Turner for 3 in the tie.
Yes! Oh, my heavens. 3 3-pointers for Turner in the last minute.
Gavin Turner ties it. Alex Fisher and Gavin Turner have led the comeback. Timeout, Juan Diego. We got ourselves a ball game, ladies and gentlemen, at the D Event Center at Weber State. All right, Rick. Offensively, do you hold for one shot here if you're Juan Diego? You play
I
for
would
overtime.
in a tie game. I would.
Yeah.
If I was behind, there's no way I'd do that. Wouldn't you?
Oh, right. No. Oh, yeah. When you're behind, you have. Chris Paul even said it. You go get the quickest, best shot available when you're behind. Now, in this situation, 33 seconds left, no shot clock. You might as well hold on to one shot.
And if you don't get it in the middle,
if you don't give it to Diallo, I don't know what you're doing.
You're really. I mean, to me, that's what I would do. Position him underneath. And then coming back the other way, if you don't keep someone on Turner, if they have any time, you don't let that guy even look at the ball.
Right.
What a
this
great
has been a fun
game.
One. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. 4-5 matchup. You expect a good one. But Morgan has never tied this game.
That's a good point. They haven't led.
They've never led. This is the first tie of the game.
Since 0-0. Wow. Well, the Trojans have clawed their way back. You live by the 3, Rick, you die by the 3. And, boy, these Trojans, even living vicariously from the NBA three-point line with a couple of those attempts.
Charles Barkley and Tanner Wilkinson. At least I know one of them.
I can do a Charles impersonation.
I do.
That was terrible defense. I tell you what, Shaq, that was terrible.
That was really good. I love Charles.
Well, we got 25 seconds left in this one. Vasquez with the basketball. They are going to hold for the final shot here. Vasquez, they want to try and get a 5-second count as Turner comes out. Vasquez crosses over. 15 seconds left. Don't want to foul. Well, you have fouls to give here. That's something important. You have one foul to give. Timeout called by Juan Diego with 10 seconds. That's something we need to keep an eye on, Rick, that we haven't talked about. One foul to give for Morgan.
Do you see the coach over there? He was saying they're giving you the 5-second count. We don't want you holding it, and that's what he was. What he was talking.
So now 10.2 to go. Morgan defensively, you like the action they saw there. Force them to be a little bit hectic with the basketball.
And it was all the action was near the half court. They didn't come close to getting a shot.
Roland Hall beats South Severo. Wow. Roland Hall's been a bit of a surprise this year up there. Have you ever been in that gym?
No.
That is one of the oldest, coolest gyms I've ever been in. We played up there when I was a junior. And really cool place. It was an out-in-region game, obviously, but we scheduled that game, and we just had a lot of fun up there.
So now what do you do?
If you're Juan Diego, I would take a shot with about 3 or 4 seconds left where you've got Diallo's size. Maybe you give a shot at an offensive rebound. And should Morgan possess the ball with only 3 or 2 seconds left, you're going to have to throw up a wild shot.
Only 10 seconds here. I think you set up a play and you just go for it. That's my opinion.
Well, it's not the NBA. You can't advance the ball to midcourt, so you don't run the risk of that. So we'll see here if this Trojan defense can get the final stop and force overtime.
And it would be crazy because if they were to force overtime and by chance win it, they would have never been ahead in regulation. That has happened a few times, but not very often.
Colby Bryant will inbound. The ball will go to Zoom Marquez. Gavin Turner is out on him. Defending this really well. They lob it to Diallo, who catches it. Get it back to Marquez. Thought about the three. Dribble penetrates. Kicks it in the corner. Three-point shot is on the way. It's blocked. And Diallo is over the back. It's going to be Morgan basketball with 3.7 to play.
And honestly, that was an easy call. Look at this replay.
Who boxed him out? Was that Bailey or Ordina that boxed him out? I think that was Nixon Ordina, one of the smallest guys on the floor with the box out.
And you gotta credit Diallo. He's trying to get the ball. He's trying to win this game. But what a great box out.
3.7 on that's a lot of time. You got a lot of time, and with the way this is set up here, boy, Rick, we have been spoiled here for the final boys game here this afternoon.
Well, I don't know, on a college-sized court with high school kids, it's kind of a long ways to go.
And some courts, I don't know what Morgan or Juan Diego's court size is. Some courts are the same. Some high schools elect to have the bigger courts, right?
But that's still a bigger court.
Right.
And what a great box out there. And I thought the shot in the corner seemed rushed.
I thought so, too. I think it got tipped, too. I think it was blocked. Out defending was Aiden Harris.
Now, I would want Turner with the ball.
I want Turner, Fisher, or Ordina. Either one of those three. They've all been terrific throughout the night here tonight. 3.7 on the clock. Now, if Juan Diego sees a look they don't like, they can foul without running the risk of shooting because they've only committed 4 fouls.
If they don't foul, there's no way you don't foul in this.
I agree.
The second that ball comes in and they touch it, if you don't foul, at least that's what I would do.
Now Juan Diego will take a timeout. So we're going to continue to keep our coverage here with you. Continue with your foul thought process.
You just got to foul because it runs time. And then when they get it again, you foul them again. They
have 2 to give.
There's no way you let them even get a shot off. That's my opinion.
It'll be interesting to see what's being talked about.
Know, of course, when you got the length that Juan Diego has, maybe they're comfortable with it. But in my opinion, you foul early, so there's no chance of being a foul in a shot situation.
All the Morgan students have been on their feet. They have traveled extremely well here to the D-Event Center. 39-39, 3.7 to go. It's going to be Aiden Harris to trigger on the inbounds. 3 guards out front. You've got Diallo protecting the paint. Ball goes into Ordina, and they do foul with 2.3.
What a great and see, that is great coaching in my opinion.
Yes, I would have to agree.
And you're going to foul again, so that they only have less than a second at the most.
Now Morgan will call time. Both these teams have really, saving your timeouts comes in handy for situations like this, Rick. My goodness. What a fun game. So both teams at 5 team fouls, and this is important should we go to overtime because the fouls we'll continue where we're at the end of regulation here.
But I don't think you're playing worried about overtime at this point. You're playing to save, to make sure no one gets a good shot.
That's right.
At least that's my thought. You play for the moment because a miscue can send you in the loser's bracket.
Juan Diego has led the entire night. It was tied 0-0. That was the last time we were tied, and it's now 39 apiece here.
And be honest with you, Morgan looked like they could never make a shot.
They scored 6 points in the third period and had, and this is interesting, Juan Diego, okay, they're going to have a guy come up here a little bit. Checking into the game is Jack Rupp. Some length here. Criddle gives Ordina for the win. Oh, it's short. So we will have overtime. They got a look. They had a look.
And that was a long look. I mean, it looked like it had a chance, but that
was Damian Lillard range here at Weber State.
Or Jimmer.
Or Jimmer range. I usually say Jimmer range. We're here at Weber State, so we'll take a quick break, kind of regather ourselves, Rick, after a great ending to regulation. I'll be back with overtime on Centricom Channel 10 and ETV.
Hi, I'm Dustin Shakespeare, the Central Region Pathways Coordinator. Do you know what pathways are offered at your high school that connect with Snow College? Students enrolled in career technical education courses can develop valuable real-world technical skills and a strong academic foundation. Over 630 students completed CTE pathways last year in the Central Utah region. Our 35 pathways empower students to explore career options, pursue what they are passionate about, and earn valuable industry certifications. To learn more about these career pathways, talk to your CTE teachers and school counselors today.
Welcome back on in overtime, and yeah, I bet Diallo would win that tip there, Rick, and he does so.
I do remember the last time I saw a game, a team did not lead in regulation but won in overtime. I'll tell it to you when you ask me.
Marquez gets it back up top. Bettinger with the basketball, swings it back over to Colby Bryant. Bryant now gets it back over to Marquez. They try to go low to Diallo. Draws a double on the baseline. Diallo to the bump. Turns, kicks it back out to Marquez. And they'll reset 30 seconds in. Bettinger with the basketball and gets it over to Marquez. Thought about the three. Guarded with the mismatch high. They go low. Double. Faux double kind of comes here as Diallo kicks it back out to Bettinger. Their best three-point shooter. It's short. Ball tipped. Diallo just got a finger on it. Marquez for three. He hasn't hit one all game. It's no. Diallo again tips. Stays with Juan Diego.
The last time was double overtime in Salt Lake City. BYU lost to Utah. Utah never led till the second overtime.
Was that a Yoli Childs injury night, or was this? Are you talking years ago on this?
It was just 2 or 3 years. It was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yoli got the cramps, and Diallo offensive rebound draws the foul and will shoot two.
Oh, what a
that's
Diallo,
a man's rebound right there.
And that describes it well. In this overtime, he's got the ball. He tipped it out. He got a rebound in the second one here. He's given Juan Diego several looks here.
Diallo will shoot two, 64% on the year.
And it was Utah that won that game in double overtime in Salt Lake City.
BYU had a few guys foul out in that game, too, in addition to Childs getting hurt. Lead back to Juan Diego, 40-39, 3:06 to go. He's got one more.
Morgan has still never led in this game.
One more shot for Diallo. And it's in and out and back in. So 2-point lead, 41-39, 3:08 to go in the overtime. Ordina gets it across the timeline. Gives it to Harris. Harris will pull it back out to Ordina. Again, Juan Diego's been loyal to this 2-3 zone. They go low. Bailey, 14-foot J. Short, but catches the rim and rolls in. Ties us up at 41 apiece.
I didn't think it was going to make it all the way, and it bounced up high and came down in.
And Colby Bryant a little bit slow to get back up as he gets on the other side of the court now. Bettinger with it. Gives it back up top Bryant to Bettinger. Now in the corner, Marquez on the left side. Jab step, gets in the paint, lobs it for Diallo. Diallo turns, shoots, cannot finish it. Ball is tipped. Ball is loose. Nixon Ordina's got it, and he gets it to Fisher. Oh, my goodness, what a rebound from Nixon Ordina.
Yeah, and he had Diallo coming heavy after the rebound.
Now, Morgan has not led all night. Do they get the lead on this possession? Bailey, ball fake, drives, shoots, ball off the rim, rebound Criddle. Kicks it back out to Harris. 18-foot Jay, strong. Ball tipped, and let's see who the foul's going to be on here. They say it's on Morgan. I think Criddle just got a little too physical in there.
Well, I saw an arm swipe at the ball and hit someone on the head.
And that's a 1-and-1. That's significant. It stops the clock here. It'll be a 1-and-1 situation for Juan Diego. This will be interesting.
Yeah, you could see that foul as Fisher came down on the top of Diallo.
Gavin Turner back into the game. He replaces Aiden Harris. Turner's been big tonight. Turner and Alex Fisher with those fourth quarter threes. Diallo with the 1-and-1.
How good has Barrett Hilton been to replay those big plays? Thank you, Barrett, our producer.
Connects on the front end. Lead back to Juan Diego. 42-41, 2 minutes to go. One more shot for Diallo. After missing a couple big ones in the second half, he's 3 for 3 in the overtime. Make it 4 for 4.
Just a 67% foul shooter.
Yeah.
And he's made 4 in a row here in the overtime.
Trojans let the ball roll up. It's picked up by Turner. Gavin with it to Nixon Ordina. Now Turner with the basketball. They find Turner for 3. Big shot off the rim. Diallo's got it with 1:50 to go. Juan Diego with a 2-point lead. As Alex Fisher looks to put a little pressure on Diallo. Now he goes right to the rim and lays it in. My goodness. When you got that much momentum, tough to stop Diallo. 4-point lead. Fisher, jab step, gets in the paint, bounces into Criddle. Criddle will kick to Bailey. Ball fake, bounce past Fisher. Trojans still waiting on that miracle. Bailey, 14-foot jumper, good. Big basket inside from Eli Bailey. 1:18 left.
Again, these teams have not gone heavy to the bench. Do you think there's some tiredness out there?
Well, the fact that Morgan's had to continue to claw back has had to have played a factor. 1:05 to go. If you're Juan Diego, you try to run clock without being too lackadaisical out there. Bryant with the basketball. Puts it guarded by Ordina. Dribbles high. Great coverage, and Bryant kicked it. What? Oh, let's see here. Officials, what do we got? Do they call a foul or a timeout?
Call the timeout.
Wow.
Let's look at that again.
See when and he does say time. Oh, he didn't have possession of the ball when he started to. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, if you're a Morgan fan, you can't like that. That's really close. I personally do not think Colby Bryant had the ball in his hand. I think he did when the coach went to go initially call the timeout, but when the timeout was called, I'm not 100% sure that he had possession.
Well, I think, the official's there.
He
knows what he heard.
He sees it better than we do, no question. Boy, this one's been fun. 52.1 to go.
But that was a big save because there was clearly going to be a turnover.
And a good timeout. You want the ball in the hands of either Zoo Marquez or Noah Bettinger in these situations. They're your ball handlers. They're your creators. So interesting to see here how this final 52 seconds of overtime is played. Man, what a night. I guess we're still in the afternoon, Rick, but it has just been one dramatic moment after the other.
Some big games.
Yeah. Should mention winner moves on. They'll get the Layton Christian Academy Eagles.
Number 1 ranked, the number 1 seeded team.
Yes.
In 3A basketball. They look every bit much.
Yes.
That
defensively, the best defensive team I've seen this year. They earned that number 1 spot. So here we go. It'll be Juan Diego basketball. Trojans have already come out of their huddle. Man, really interesting to see how these final 52 seconds Whenever I do a game with you, Rick, we learn to expect the unexpected.
Well, I just know I'm lucky when I get to do it with you. Thank you.
I'm interested to see Brad's stats here as well at the end of the game. Bryant Trigger gets it into Diallo. Guarded by Criddle. Again, it is 1-1 should the Trojans decide to foul at any point. Diallo with the basketball, dribbling out high. Falling to the ground is Bryant. And we got another timeout, I believe, called by Juan Diego.
And that took away a basket.
They just said official timeout. Oh, that's got to be really frustrating if you're Morgan.
Well,
so
no,
Bryant
it was
was
Juan
on the
Diego.
floor.
They had a basket. They didn't call a foul because Juan Diego was going to score a basket.
Colby Bryant was rolling on the floor, and they called the time. They called an official timeout. So now checking back into the game is Nick Kimball, and checking out is Johnson. I think because they blew it dead. It's like in football, if you can't stay in the game if you've got what appeared to be an injury.
Yeah, so Bryant goes out.
Bryant, an 80% free throw shooter, something to keep an eye on. Kimball will be the trigger man with 40.8 to go. They try to go to Diallo. They go back to Marquez, guarded tightly by Gavin Turner. Marquez crosses over. 35 seconds remaining. Marquez gives to Diallo, guarded by Criddle. Criddle trying to get that 5-second count. Diallo lowers, drives, scoop, fouled, count the bucket, and that might be the nail in the coffin. Malik Diallo with the basket inside.
Yeah, and on the dribble drive, Morgan tried to come over and give some side help, but they were coming into him.
And
it was really, really tough.
Criddle's fouled out, the junior. And he just reserves a nice round of applause from the Trojan fans and gets one. So Malik Diallo gets a free throw here with 27.9 to go.
Yeah, Morgan still has some life, but they really don't have time for any miscues.
And the free throw's missed. Rebound to Fisher. 25 seconds to go. Fisher gets it across the timeline. Fisher swings to Turner. Turner looks to go baseline. Goes to Ordina. Nixon just dribbled it off his foot. Saves it back into Turner. Turner hoists up a long three, and Diallo the rebound. You got a foul with 11 seconds, with 10, and Marquez will look to dribble this out, and the Soaring Eagle finally get fouled with 5.2 to go. Man, what a game and what a performance from these Morgan Trojans. My goodness.
Yeah, and I think Morgan worried about time running. They knew it was a two-possession game. And you and I had a good look. That shot just was not close.
And Diallo clapping at the Morgan student section.
Oh, yeah. And I tell you what, that's not something he wants to do.
No. Free throws here for Marquez. Shoots a 66% at the line. Connects on the front end of the 1-and-1. And he'll get one more. 48-43. Morgan did not lead in this game. Turner up to Nixon Ordina. The senior will get the final shot for the Trojans, and that'll do it. Your final, Juan Diego 49, Morgan 43 in overtime. What a game, Rick Robinson. Boy, that was something else. My goodness.
Yeah, and I thought when Morgan came back, they had all the momentum, but the timeout, taking it overtime, they just never could get back into that rhythm.
Yep. Man, what a game. Just playoff basketball at its finest here at the D Event Center. Between Juan Diego and Morgan. A lot of good respect and sportsmanship being shown here between the two teams. Rick, and that wraps up the boys' side of the bracket. Coming up next, you and I will be on the call for Grantsville Leighton Christian. Those ladies will take the floor. And as they are now getting warmed up are the Grantsville Cowboys. They've got a good program, Grantsville. They've got a girl that's playing at Snow College and one playing at a Division II school in Wyoming. So they've been a lot of fun as a program over the years. No seniors on this Grantsville girls team.
Well, the Grantsville girls teams did play Richfield the first game of the season.
That's right.
And they beat Richfield in Grantsville.
Mackenzie Allen's a really good point guard. So her aunt and my wife were mission companions. So we've been
Really?
hearing about her for quite some time, and we thought, oh, she's your niece. That's cute. That's fun. No, she's really good. Really good point guard for the Cowboys. Just waiting on some stats from Brad here before we wrap this one up, Rick. In what was just, again, a phenomenal matchup between Juan Diego and Morgan. Finished in overtime, a late three-point shot as the Leighton Christian girls have now come out to warm up. They got upset in the quarterfinal last year of 2A, so I know they're looking to – this is where they got to a year ago. They're looking to get a little bit further in the tournament than they did a year ago. Their boys have already advanced on to the next round.
There's not a lot of double teams here in this year's tournament.
Yes.
There's a few, but some years it's like a clone of every team here. But Leighton Christian, Morgan, and Grantsville.
Yeah. Let's go over these stats real quick. Big thanks to Brad. Brad is on the other side of the court, and he is hauling these to us. Final stats, Nixon Ordina finishes with 12 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 9 points from Alex Fisher, all threes. Also 6 rebounds from Alex. 10 points and 6 boards from Eli Bailey. Josh Criddle didn't score, but he had 10 rebounds tonight. And 6 points off the bench from Gavin Turner. He was big for Morgan. And then 3 points from Joe Waite and Luke Olson as well. 24 and 19 from Malik Diallo. Just a monster second half, and really in overtime, Rick, is when he took over.
Yeah, and he only sat out for, 3-4 minutes with his injury. Other than that, he never sat out in this game.
Yeah.
Overtime game. Will that be a factor as the tournament rolls along?
That's a good point.